Hey guys and girls, it's Ken here from OK Portugal, and welcome to another episode of Portugal Farm Life. After months of no rain, the heavens finally opened up and absolutely drenched the farm for about 3 days. I'm on my way to my neighbour's house. If you watched last week's video, you'll know that we just did our grape harvest, and we've basically crushed all of the grapes, and they've been sitting in this big vat. And today's the day where we're going to be separating all of the sort of grape skins and grapes from the juice, and that sort of grape juice is then going to go into a fermenter. So I'm here with Costa. He's one of our neighbours, and he is the master of wine. He knows exactly how to do all of this. He's a professional. So let me show you what we're up to. So in last week's video, we took all of the grapes, we brought them back here, we put them through this macerator. It's basically electricity powered, it's got some grinders, and it ground all of the grapes up and crushed them. And then they went into this big container over here, which is a big stainless steel container. And as you can see, all of these here are all of those crushed up grapes. Now beneath the crushed up grapes is all the liquid. And for the last week, it's all been fermenting in here. So a week later, we've basically come and we're draining it all out now. Now you can see it's draining very slowly, but that's because we're at the very last bits at the moment. And we're just letting it drain into one of these stainless steel containers. Each one of these are 50 litres, and there's quite a few of them. So as you can see, all of these ones are nice and full. And in total, we've got 12, so we're on the 13th one now. So we've got just over 600 litres so far. So there's not much more happening today. We're just waiting for the last bits of the juice of the grapes to go into the barrels. It's still trickling, as you can probably hear in the background, so it's going to take a little while. But there's no more work to be done today. Tomorrow, we're going to be taking all of these crushed grapes and we're going to be doing something interesting with them. It's the next morning, it's an absolutely glorious day. I'm just about to head off to do a little bit of filming, but I wanted to show you some cool stuff that's happened to the farm in the last couple of days. We've had a whole bunch of rain, and I don't know if you can make out, but there's tiny little plants growing, so we're getting all sorts of like little green manures and grasses and all of that, and they're all starting to pop up because it was so dry and dusty like the whole summer, and now we're starting to get some greenery. I'm very excited about that. Now normally sort of in the winter time, this entire area, it looks like we've got a big front lawn and it's all covered in like chamomile flowers, and it's absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to see that again. I'm sick and tired of all the dry dustiness now.
I'm just about to go off shopping and Ken's about to go to Joaquin's. What are you doing there today?
Finishing off not finishing off, but doing the next stage of winemaking.
Okay.
And yeah, we've got an update about Mimo. I don't know if you remember, we had to take her for her blood test results.
Mimosa was diagnosed with Leishmaniasis about 6 months ago. which is a parasite which is transmitted by a sandfly, which is a bit like a mosquito. She was given quite intensive treatment for the first month, and then she continued with tablet medication twice a day. And a couple of weeks ago we took her back to the vet to test her levels to see where the parasites are in her system. And when she was first diagnosed, her parasite level was 4.9, and now her levels are 1.4, which is obviously really good, but not good enough that we can stop the medication. So she'll continue her medication for about another 6 months, and then we'll take her back to the vets to have her bloods retested again.
So during the hot summer, I never actually saw any ants this year. And I'm guessing that's just a way of them regulating their temperature, staying underneath the ground and maybe only coming out at night time. You know, we did have these like serious heat waves and stuff like that. But now that things are cooling down a bit, you know, I think today is only going to be about 28. I'm seeing a lot more ant activity. And all over the farm, I'm finding all these craters where they're obviously digging up all of their tunnels that collapsed. It's pretty cool to see. Gina's just shown me this huge one. And this spans a very big area. I think these are called harvester ants. You can't really see by the small ones, but there's these really big ones, and they've got these huge heads. And what they do is they basically chop up all of the vegetation, so all the dry bits of grass and leaves and things. They cut them up, they take them downstairs into their sort of burrows, and I believe they grow mushrooms or something on them, and then they eat those mushrooms. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's that type of ant. So they're actually taking organic matter and they're burying it deep inside the soil. So that's pretty cool. They're basically aerating and composting, and they're doing it all over the farm, which is pretty awesome. So not long to go, and all of this is going to be greened up, and the whole farm is going to look completely different. I cannot wait. Now, I love our dogs, don't get me wrong, but they do something super annoying. Check this out. They dig loads. It's all over the place, especially when the fields are bare like this. You can see it all over the place. Look, they just dig holes everywhere. Now, I know what they're doing here. They're actually trying to catch a mole. Mimo is quite good at catching moles. But Eddie, he likes to just dig holes just for the sake of it, which is really irritating. Now, I don't know who it was. Oh, there goes Gina. Bye, Gina. I don't know who it was, but one of our subscribers told us, gave us like a little tip, and it actually works. Basically, if you want to stop your dog from digging, because what our dogs were doing is digging in the exact same spot over and over again, which they like to do, is you take some of their dog poo, you stick it in the hole, and then you cover the hole back up, and then they don't dig there anymore. They can obviously, they've got very strong sense of smell. They obviously smell that their own poo's in there, and they don't want to get it on their paws or something like that, and it stops them. But it's not going to stop dogs from digging random holes like this. But yeah, if you have a dog digging in the exact same spot over and over again, like ours used to do it right in front of our front door, which was super annoying, yeah, just put some of their poo in there. We went around with a wheelbarrow and just collected poo from their daily walks, dumped it in there, put some sand on the top, no more problems. So whoever that was that gave us that tip, thank you very much. It's awesome. So while we're having a little walk around the farm, I thought I'd come down here. I actually haven't been down here in, I don't know, like about a month. This is our sort of pond, or what I call a dam, well, the water levels are very low, so let's go down here quickly. This little line over here, this is the high water mark. So in the winter time the water comes all the way up to here, and as you can see, the water is very low, probably about 3 meters. So that just shows you, I mean, we've had 3 heat waves, severe drought, and no rain for months and months and months, apart from this week where we had a couple of days of rain. Now obviously those couple of days of rain aren't going to fix an entire summer of drought, but things are looking pretty good here. I'm standing at water level, and if you look at the slope or the gradient going down up to sort of this point here, that's where the high water mark is. And actually it's probably just a little bit higher than me. So it's not 3 meters, it's probably dropped about 2 meters. So that's not too bad. Like if you go out into that section of this pond and you put like a string down there to count out how deep it is, it's usually 6.5 meters. That's in springtime. So we've dropped 2 meters. So there's still going to be about 4.5 meters of water down there. Obviously it goes down like a cheese wedge, so you can kind of walk out and it just gets deeper and deeper. So we've still got lots of water in the space. We have a life jacket down here just in case something happens. I'm not sure why it's lying on the floor like this. Probably the wind took it. Anyway, enough messing around. Let's get to Joaquin's farm now, and let's have a look at what's going on with the winemaking with Aguardente. So Joaquin was just telling me that Costa is busy preparing the alambique. I'm going to go and show you all of this now. It's pretty cool. There's Gina. I don't know where she's just been. She's obviously on her way back. So we've arrived at Joaquin's place. All right, let's go and find out what's happening with this wine. So I'm here with Costa, and he's setting everything up. And I think he's going to take me there now so we can fire up this alambique. Oh. Okay. So Fernando is busy cleaning, just making sure that everything's nice and clean and sterile. And basically, this is the still. This is the bottom of it here. This is where the fire is going to go. And then it's going to go through. It's going to go through from the top of the still. There's going to be a piece that goes up here. It's going to condense. The alcohol is going to condense, go into this pipe over here, which then goes through this cold water. And then it's going to condense and drip out of there. So that is the idea. We're just going to get everything set up now, and then you can see exactly how it works. And this is the top of the still. So this is the copper piece that goes on the top. And Fernando's just giving this a good clean, making sure it's all clean and sterile before we start the Aguardente. And this looks like Costa's got some kindling for the fogo, for the fire, to start the fire with. Joaquin's just dropped something off. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's probably something that we're going to need today. Let's see. Okay, I think it's probably going to be used as kindling. Cool. Now, this morning, I woke up, I'm a little bit tired today. I had a broken sleep. I was woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning by Eddie. He was getting sick all over the house. And then after that, I didn't really sleep properly. So I'm a little bit tired. And so I woke up a little bit late. I wanted to get here, so I skipped breakfast. And I know what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up having a little bit of this Aguardente as well, which is really strong. So let's see how that goes. Right. There you go, Costa. Okay. Yeah. And here you can see the grapes are going directly into the copper still. So they're all going to be sitting at the bottom here. The fire is going to heat them up, so they're all going to be bubbling and boiling. You know, you don't want the fire too hot because you don't want to burn them. What that's going to do is it's going to make all of the water vapors come out of them. Those vapors are going to be full of alcohol. And the reason they're full of alcohol is because these are the grapes we macerated last week. And they've been sitting in a big stainless steel vat for a whole week, basically fermenting. And now all of the juices and everything got drained out yesterday, and we left with this. And basically this has got a high alcohol content. And when you put it through a still, you're basically purifying it. So you're basically making it stronger and stronger each time you put it through. I think they're only going to put it through once, but you end up with stuff called Aguardente, which is basically 40%, I'm not sure exactly, kind of like vodka in a way. Now this stuff has a very unique smell. It's kind of like raisins, well obviously because it's dried grapes, but it's kind of like raisins. It's a very, I don't know if you've had like rum and raisin ice cream. It's got like a very similar smell to that. And the actual alcohol that comes out of it is very distinct and very similar to that. There we go, nearly full. So this is the big tank that we basically put all of the grapes in after the grapes got crushed, and they were sitting in here for a week. Now we're going to be taking all of these grapes out and we're going to be putting them in the alembic, getting all the alcohol out. You can see this is a massive stainless steel tank, and there is a lot of grapes in here. That's amazing.
Nós sujamos agora.
E aí?
Se calhar não. Já não leva esta?
Meia boca.
Vê lá, foram muito inteiras. Já está a carinho. Traga uma pouquinho da água. Esta água para a farinha. Eu vou buscar já a lenha para aqui. Na gaveta a água.
So this white stuff over here, this is flour, and basically what he's doing is he's making a flour paste, and where that's going to go is it's going to go around the joins over here to stop the steam from coming out, because you want all of that steam and water vapor to stay inside the still. You want it to condense on the top and kind of go through these pipes. And here we go, he's going to seal it off now. So Costa's fetched a leaf, and I think he's going to use that as like a little spout. You can see he's going to tie it around there, and it gives it a little spout. So as the aguardente starts to drip out, it can drip into a container nicely. And Fernanda's prepared some kind of mesh so that you don't get any impurities and things falling in. And this one's going to be the container, and then this is for drinking, to have a little sip. Now I think it's going to take a while for that fire to heat up. As you saw, there's a lot of like the old grapes in there, or the fermented grapes, There is a huge amount, in fact. It's basically 2 of these big black tubs, which is probably, I don't know, 40 litres or so, 30, 40, maybe even 50 litres. So there's 2 of those in there, plus another smaller bucket, probably about this size. So it's a lot of grapes. They've also added some water, because if you just have the dry grapes, then you imagine they'll just burn on the bottom there. Now, Costa's obviously very experienced at this. What he wants to do is he wants to build a fire that's hot enough to start releasing the vapors, but not hot enough to start scalding it and burning it at the bottom. And so he's keeping a very close eye on things here. Right, the fire seems to be a bit stronger now. We need to get this stuff boiling. It's going well. Costa has prepared this vessel to collect the aguardente, and this, I think this is called cheesecloth. That's there just to stop any impurities and or any big things or flies or anything falling in. And over here, this is where the vapors are going to start dripping out. I'm actually quite looking forward to trying some of this. Breakfast. It's taking quite a while. This is still cold to touch. So yeah, it's going to be a while until we have some action. So while we wait for that to heat up, I thought I'd just have a look in her vegetable garden, because she's always got amazing stuff. We've got some red peppers over here. We have some big old cabbages over there. I think those are beans in that direction. A whole bunch more cabbage. They grow a lot of cabbage in Portugal. It's not just so that they can eat it with bacalhau, it's also so that they can feed things like chickens. Here we have a whole bunch of squashes, and we've got some lettuces just growing in the ground. Now, bear in mind that we have just come out of a very hot, dry summer, and so no one's vegetable gardens are looking that great at the moment, but this is still looking amazing. Very green. She waters this all by hand, and this is a huge space. So I can't imagine how long that must take. I mean, we've got like sprinkler systems that do like Gina's lady garden, and even that was like dry for the whole of summer. We were struggling to keep that green. So she's done a fantastic job here. And wow, look at these. This is all very green and lush. These almost look like beans, the type of leaves, but they're growing on the ground. So I'm not sure what they are. I'm sure one of our viewers are going to know, so drop it in the comments and let us know. And over here we've got some squashes and things like that. And these are all tomatoes. But this time of the year, you can see, well, like most of them are all spent already, they're all done, so yeah. She makes these little squares and then basically plants into them. And there's always something new coming up at on a different week. So it's not like she has everything ready all at the same time. Wow, look at this.
Sí, sí.
Got some really nice strawberries on there. I was just chatting to Fernanda now, and she said that those are not beans, those are sweet potatoes, batata dos. So I'm sure someone already wrote that in the comments. But yeah, sweet potato. I thought they were beans. And things are starting to heat up. So I'm going to give a very brief description of exactly what's going on here. The fire heats the grapes in the bottom of the still. That starts to boil. When that starts to boil, that creates steam, almost like when you boil a pot and you get steam coming off the top. That steam then goes from here into the top of the pot, starts to go through this pipe. Now when you have a shower and you get out and the mirror is all fogged up, that's because the mirror is cold. This is cold water. This pipe basically gets cooled by this water, which then in turn makes all of the mist or the vapors stick to the side of the pipe. Once too many vapors stick to the side of the pipe, they basically condense, they turn into water, or not water, well they turn into aguardente, which then comes dripping off here, and that is basically alcohol. So what we're getting here is like, not 100% pure, but probably about 40% pure alcohol dripping out of this pipe. Obviously I simplified things a lot. There is like an art to doing it. You can't have the fire too hot. You don't want the steam to be coming out too fast. If that happens, the alcohol content isn't as strong. So that's why Costa carefully watches and sees exactly how many drips are coming out. He's also carefully monitoring just how hot the fire is. I can imagine if the fire is too hot, you're probably going to end up burning all the grapes in there. And you probably don't want that. You're going to have smoke mixed in, So yeah, there's a lot more going on there than just make a fire, burn the grapes, condense water. Okay, so Costa's giving me the very first sip. It's going to be strong. It was rocket fuel. Ooh.
Waarom?
Tá bom. That is very strong. Whew.
Oh.
Wow. That'll definitely put some more hair in your chest. So I think now what he needs to do is he needs to adjust the flow. Depending on the flow, I'm not sure exactly how it works. Obviously my Portuguese is a bit limited, but from what he's explained to me is if it flows faster, then I think you get a lower alcohol content. If it flows slower, then you get a higher alcohol content. And right now that stuff is very strong. So I think he's probably gonna, yeah, look, he's adding some more wood. He's gonna make it hotter. It's gonna make more steam and you're gonna get a faster flow. I think he's gonna go and get some more wood now. It's forte. Fernanda, you gonna probar?
Pode?
Yeah?
Eu não.
No, okay, yeah. Yeah, so Fernanda doesn't drink alcohol.
Rana que bebe.
Eu
Rana bebe.
não.
So all that new wood that they added gave a much better flow. Check this out. You can see it's flowing a lot stronger and a lot faster. And so I'm guessing the alcohol content will be a little bit low, but it'll probably make for a better tasting Aguardente. Now I have to actually go now. It's lunchtime. Gina's made lunch. I've got to go home and I've got to start editing this video. But I just want to say a big thank you to Costa for showing me how this is all done. Muito obrigado, Costa.
Hello.
Até logo. Look at the sweet kitties. Wow, you're so cute. You're so cute. My goodness. That is a very, very sweet looking cat. And there's another one over here, almost like a Siamese. Hello. These are Fernanda's kitties. They're very sweet. Ciao, Costa.
Hi, Ken. Hello.
Até logo. So I've got to get back. We're having lunch at our place. And this is where I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Basically, it's Saturday today. Now, if you don't know, on Saturdays, I post up an early preview link on Patreon for our Patreon members of this week, of our weekly video. This week, I haven't been able to do that because today was the day that we were going to be doing the Aguardente. So I got to get back. I got to get this video edited, get it uploaded, get it on Patreon. And yeah, I got my work cut out for me. And I'm a little bit tipsy after that Aguardente and no breakfast. Wish me luck. Cheers, everyone. See you next week, same time for the next episode of Portugal Farm Life.